Alright, what up guys? Good morning. Welcome back. It's Sunday and that means it's a second review for the weekend. So like I said yesterday, we'll be moving on to the relatively more heavyweight products from the Cool Grease line. And so today we'll be looking at Cool Grease, Cool Wax, Cool Everything. So Cool Everything isn't part of the name of the product. So we're gonna go ahead and actually move down from Cool Grease Z in terms of the hold, and I believe a little to the right in terms of the shine. So looking at the graph that I showed you guys in the first Cool Grease review video, we're like near the y-axis, just offset a little to the right and a little bit above the x-axis. So we're hoping for like a slightly above average in terms of hold and slightly above average in terms of shine. But in terms of looks, this does look like a waxier product, and so it should be very interesting and very different from what we've already looked at from the line. And to show you guys that, we'll go ahead and start looking at the jar and talk through that and then move on to the styling. Alright, so here is the jar. As I said before, this is Cool Grease, Cool Wax, Ultra Super Hard. So why it's called Ultra Super Hard, I actually have no idea, because it's actually not that high up the y-axis or the hardness axis on that map I showed you guys. And speaking of maps, we actually have a map design in the background, and it has a very like explorer-like design work to it. And overall, the design work is as good as European colonialism. In other words, it sucks. Yeah, I just don't like it. I think it's very cheesy like style. But I mean, it's still a pretty cool plastic jar and quite large actually. So this is still the 90-gram jar because it seems large, but there's actually like a huge air gap, as you guys have seen with a lot of other like kind of higher end bougie ass salon products. There's a huge like container, but that container actually carrying the product is actually much smaller, as you can see. Opening it up, you have the wax inside, nice like opaque paste, and really different from the other products that we've looked at from the Cool Grease line so far. And so let's go ahead and get started installing. Alright, so unlike many of the other Cool Grease products that we've looked at, and actually unlike every other Cool Grease product except for the concrete one, this pomade has almost no smell. Actually has a little bit of like a lotion smell. Whether that's actually intended or not, I don't know, because it's like basically an unscented pomade, which is really good for those of us who use a cologne or some sort of other like scent or aroma that we prefer to stand out. At least this product stays out of the way. And typically it's really good because a majority of pomades I actually don't like the smell, or rather I don't find that I would prefer that smell to represent me. It's always nice to have these unscented pomades where like it'll be good to kind of like let me decide at the end of the day and not force me to take some sort of like fruity or super spice or super herbal smell. Anyway, so scooping it out, it has a texture really similar to Anchor's, but a little bit more toothpastey, I guess. Actually super toothpastey. So yeah, this is definitely a wax. I mean, I recognize the feel of it. It actually has a really weird way of shedding in the hands. You guys notice that? Like I can wipe it and my hands would get clean in some areas. That's weird. And applying it, I definitely feel the wax to some extent, but it's not bad at all. Like, yeah. It also at the same time feels really light in my hair so far, which I appreciate. I mean, in theory, I would like a product to be as strong as possible without making it a hassle for me to apply, work with, or just kind of like go through my day with. Because, I mean, there are some people out there who like a super heavyweight pomade. There are some people who actually need it. And there's a lot of people who actually don't need it, but think they need it, or want to need it, or just think it's cool to use it. And it's the same people who ride those, like, what are those things? Those, like, I think it's Ford, like those Ford, like, King Ranch trucks. And it's the best ones who actually live in the suburban area and drive one of those things. Do you own a ranch? No. And those are the same people who you'll find, like, using ultra hard pomade to style, like, a comb over or something like that. Or something really simple, something unnecessary. And so it's better to just keep in mind what you need, and then versus, like, what you think you need. Anyway, so with this product, you'll definitely want to make sure you spread it around. If you do a bad job, you will leave white residue. And this is actually something that applies to all wax products. Hence why you see people sell, like, black beeswax and stuff like that. Because once it starts flaking, and if it does, if it's black, at least for us with black hair, no one else notices it, or it can't be seen. Like, if you guys use, like, a white wax and you have dark, like, brown or, like, black hair, your hair actually will get, like, a lighter, like, paler color. Like, it will look even more matte. It will actually look kind of unhealthy. And it's not actually unhealthy, it's just, it looks like that because of the wax. Alright, and so I think I have enough product. I should. It actually feels really nice in the hair. It's, like, actually pretty dry. It's, like, actually really light. So I like the feel of it right now. But anyways, I'm going to start combing everything back. And like any other cool grease product, it's actually really easy to comb. Yeah, straight up, it feels exactly like Anchor's matte right now. Teddy Boy matte. Feels really light, really nice. And my hair is listening to me. But other than that, it doesn't feel like I have much product in my hair. Even though, according to how much I applied, I actually do have a really good amount of product. Go ahead, start forming the part. Definitely, this product is actually really, really nice. I mean, it feels like a light product, yet, as you guys can tell, like, it's holding down my sides pretty nice and tight. My hair is pretty long right now, and so this is really commendable. Like, what I like is it has, like, an okay amount of hold right now. Well, that's what it appears to be, but the amount of control I'm getting is really nice. And I keep those two, like, words mostly separate. I mean, they do play into each other. They're not independent of each other, but there's different factors going on into, like, how each of them come out. And so there are great products like these where the hold's not super strong, but the control is still very present, or really, really available for the user. With my sides all slicked back, I'm going to go ahead and start forming the pomp itself. Alright, so let's go ahead and call that done. So, giving it the hair full inspection, we see the sides are slightly like puffed out a little bit, but still held down and in their relative place. So as you start combing this product through, you definitely start seeing that it is it is an above average hold, but it is still like a medium hold. It's not like a heavy hold in any way. Like according to the chart, it is correct. It is a nice balance, and you start getting like a really nice pompadour from it since it's like good enough to hold, but it still has a little bit of freeness to it, which allows your hair to kind of take a more natural shape rather than like a head wedge. The part is made hard, sharp, and straight, and the pomp itself is at like a good shape, average height. But the most important thing I think is overall the pomade feels like really clean. It feels super light, and actually, this is one of the best like feeling pomades I've tried in a long time. Like it feels super comfortable. I don't feel like I have some heavy grease or some like crusty ass like water-based pomade in. It just feels really clean and really nice and really light. Um, if it was still the summer, I would be worried, but it is the winter. Kind of worried about the wind a little bit, but it's the winter, so temperature is not rising. Temperature in California, Northern California, is like low 40s, high 60s right now, and so this hair should be good enough for the day. I probably will have to restyle it. I do expect it to stay malleable the whole day, but right now, overall, I've been quite pleased with this product. I mean, would like it a little bit stronger, but either way, some of the characteristics I just mentioned are actually extraordinary and really well done, so I'm happy with it. But yeah, so see you at the end of the day. We'll talk about how well it did, and go on from there. All right, so day's over. I want to get this done, go to sleep. It's now late night, but of course that means the pomade was tested. As you can tell, like everything started to sag. I mean, the palm started to lose its height, started to lose its shape, and overall everything kind of lost composition. At the same time, this is something we expect, something that I personally knew was going to happen given the feel of this product. And like it was really light, it was really kind of just pretty dry and felt really nice. But at the same time, because I didn't have to sacrifice the feel or like sacrifice an overly strong pomade, I then have to sacrifice the hold, the endurance, and other things throughout the whole day. Now, it stayed malleable, which is really nice, completely restylable. Um, you will kind of start losing like the product throughout the day, as in, like, of course, when you apply it in the morning, you have the feel of the product. It's like nice and it's really workable, but throughout the day, it gets kind of like, I don't want to say dry, but it gets more and more like non-existent and gets more and more unavailable for you to use as a styling product. Um, so in terms of endurance, like it didn't fare too well at all. Restylability definitely stays like nice and soft. Hardness, like I just said, it stays malleable completely. It rinses out really easily and completely, so that's really nice. But like overall, like despite the lack of endurance, I still like this product a lot, and it's a great option for people who may not be styling a pompadour, maybe styling like a side part, a comb over of some type, which makes this product really useful because it's really light, really easy to style with, and really like malleable throughout the whole day. Yeah, it doesn't really like provide that excessive amount of hold. And also it doesn't have a strong scent, which makes everything really easy to work with. You're able to work around that and like to incorporate that into like your daily schedule. But overall, like I just said, I really like the product. It has something unique. It's super light, super easy to work with, and like super comfortable to use. But the only thing is, I would want more hold and I would want more endurance because I still need, like, preferably I don't want to restyle in the middle of the day. That's like the fact is I would prefer not to, and that's something you definitely will have to do with this product. But either way, this has been Cool Grease, Cool Wax, and I would actually highly recommend you guys to take a look at this product just because of how unique it is. With that said, that concludes the reviews for this weekend. I will try to get some done throughout the week if I can, but I can't guarantee that. So other than that, have a great Thanksgiving, guys. have a great vacation and get your rest in before you have to go back to school.